I did it. I am live. Hi, StreamYard YouTube. I apologize for all my goofy technical issues. I am going to pick up with the book of Exodus, and this is going to be my third time reading it because both times I read it, the StreamYard was off. So here we go. Hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, yeah, my hot water went off this morning, and I'm waiting on the landlord. And I'm hoping they'll come by because I want a bath. But anyway, here we go. Exodus 11. Make sure I'm messing with the right devices. Didn't turn myself off. Okay. Exodus 11. Praise God. Thank Him for the reading of the word. What an awesome opportunity. Again, this is the ICB Bible. Excuse me. This is the ICB Bible, and it's so simple to be read. So we're going to do this in a year. In less than a year, it's going to be done. Exodus 11, the death of the firstborn. Now the Lord had told Moses, I have one more way to punish the king and the people of Egypt. After this, the king will send all of you away from Egypt. When he does, he will force you to leave completely. Tell the men and women of Israel to ask their neighbors for things made of silver and gold. The Lord had caused the Egyptians to respect the Israelites. The king's officers and the Egyptian people already considered Moses to be a great man. So Moses said to the king, this is what the Lord says. About midnight tonight, I will go through all Egypt. Every firstborn son in the land of Egypt will die. The firstborn son of the king who sits on his throne will die. Even the firstborn of the slave girl grinding grain will die. Also, the firstborn farm animals will die. There will be loud crying everywhere in Egypt. It will be worse than any time before or after this. But not even a dog will bark at the Israelites or their animals. Then you will know that the Lord treats Israel differently from Egypt. Then all your officers will come to me. They will bow face down to the ground before me. They will say, leave and take all your people with you. After that, I will leave. Then Moses very angrily left the king. The Lord had told Moses, the king will not listen to you and Aaron. This is so that I may do many miracles in the land of Egypt. Moses and Aaron did all these great miracles in front of the king. But the Lord made him stubborn, and the king would not let the people of Israel leave his country. Exodus 12, Passover. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. This month will be the first month of the year for you. Both of you are to tell the whole community of Israel. On the 10th day of this month, each man must get one lamb. It is for the people in his house. There may not be enough people in his house to eat a whole lamb. Then he must share it with his closest neighbor. There must be enough lamb for everyone to eat. The lamb must be a 1-year-old male. It must have nothing wrong with it. This animal can be either a young sheep or a young goat. Keep the animal with you to take care of it until the 14th day of the month. On that day, all the people of the community of Israel will kill these animals. They will do this as soon as the sun goes down. The people must take some of the blood. They must put it on the sides and tops of the door frames. These are the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. On this night, they must roast the lamb over a fire. Then they must eat it with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. Do not eat the lamb raw or boiled in water. Roast the whole lamb over a fire with its head, legs, and inner organs. You must not leave any of it until morning. But if any of it is left over until morning, you must burn it with fire. This is the way you must eat it. You must be fully dressed as if you were going on a trip. You must have your sandals on, and you must have your walking stick in your hand. You must eat it in a hurry. This is the Lord's Passover. That night, I will go through the land of Egypt. I will kill all the firstborn of animals and people in the land of Egypt. I will punish all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. But the blood will be a sign on the houses where you are. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. Nothing terrible will hurt you when I punish the land of Egypt. You are always to remember this day, celebrate it with a feast to the Lord. Your descendants are to honor the Lord with this feast from now on. For this feast you must eat bread made without yeast for 7 days. On the first day of this feast, you are to remove all the yeast from your houses. No one should eat any yeast for the full 7 days of the feast. If anyone eats yeast, then that person will be separated from Israel. You are to have holy meetings on the first and last days of the feast. You must not do any work on these days. The only work you may do on these days is to prepare your meals. You must celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Do this because on this very day, I brought your divisions of people out of Egypt. So all of your descendants must celebrate this day. This is a law that will last from now on. You are to eat bread made without yeast. Start this on the evening of the 14th day of the first month of your year. Eat this until the evening of the 21st day. For 7 days, there must not be any yeast in your houses. Anybody who eats yeast during this time must be separated from the community of Israel. This includes Israelites and non-Israelites. During this feast, you must not eat yeast. You must eat bread made without yeast wherever you live. Then Moses called all the elders of Israel together. He told them, get the animals for your families, kill the animals for Passover. Take a branch of the hyssop plant and dip it into the bowl filled with blood. Wipe the blood on the sides and tops of door frames. No one may leave his house until morning. The Lord will go through Egypt to kill the Egyptians. He will see the blood on the sides and tops of the door frames. Then the Lord will pass over that house. He will not let the one who brings death come into your houses and kill you. You must keep this command. This law is for you and your descendants from now on. Do this when you go to the land the Lord has promised to give you. When your children ask you, why are you doing these things? You will say, this is the Passover sacrifice to honor the Lord. When we were in Egypt, the Lord passed over the houses of Israel. The Lord killed the Egyptians, but he saved our homes. So now the people bowed down and worshiped the Lord. They did just as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron. At midnight, the Lord killed all the firstborn sons in the land of Egypt. The firstborn of the king who sat on the throne died. Even the firstborn of the prisoner in jail died. Also, all the firstborn farm animals died. The king, his officers, and all the Egyptians got up during the night. Someone had died in every house. So there was loud crying everywhere in Egypt. Israel leaves Egypt. During the night, the king called for Moses and Aaron. He said to them, "Get up and leave my people. You and your people may do as you have asked. Go and worship the Lord. Take all of your sheep and cattle as you have asked. Go and also bless me." The Egyptians also asked the Israelites to hurry and leave. They said, "If you don't leave, we will all die." The people of Israel took their dough before the yeast was added. They wrapped the bowls for making dough in clothing and carried them on their shoulders. The people of Israel did what Moses told them to do. They asked their Egyptian neighbors for things made of silver and gold and for clothing. The Lord caused the Egyptians to think well of the Israelites, so the Israelites took rich gifts from the Egyptians. The Israelites traveled from Ramesses to Succoth. There were about 600,000 men walking. This does not include the women and children. Many other people who were not Israelites went with them. A large number of sheep, goats, and cattle went with them. The Israelites used the dough they had brought out of Egypt. They baked loaves of bread without yeast. The dough had no yeast in it because they had been rushed out of Egypt, so they had no time to get food ready for their trip. The people of Israel had lived in Egypt for 430 years. On the day the 430 years ended, the Lord's divisions of people left Egypt. That night, the Lord kept watch to bring them out of Egypt. So, on this same night, the Israelites are to keep watch. They are to do this to honor the Lord from now on. The Lord told Moses and Aaron, "Here are the rules for Passover. No foreigner is to eat the Passover. Suppose a person buys a slave and circumcises him. Then the slave may eat the Passover. But no one who lives for a short time in your community, in your country, may eat it. No hired worker may eat it. The meal must be eaten inside the house. None of the meat is to be taken outside the house. Don't break any of the bones. The whole community of Israel must take part in this feast. A foreigner who lives with you may share in the Lord's Passover, but first, all the males in his house must be circumcised. Then, since he will be like a citizen of Israel, he may share in the meal. But a man who is not circumcised may not eat the Passover meal. The same rules apply to an Israelite born in the country, and they apply to a foreigner living there. So all the Israelites did just as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron. Then on the same day, the Lord led the Israelites out of Egypt. The people left by divisions. Excuse me. Exodus 13, the law of the firstborn. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give every firstborn male to me. Every firstborn male among the Israelites belongs to me, whether human or animal." Moses said to the people, "Remember this day, the day you left Egypt. You were slaves in that land. The Lord, with his great power, brought you out of it. You must not eat bread made with yeast. Today, in the month of Abib, you are leaving Egypt. The Lord made a promise to your ancestors. The Lord promised to give you the land of these people, the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Hivites, and Jebusites. The Lord will lead you to this land where much food grows. There, you must celebrate this feast during the first month of every year. For 7 days, you must eat bread made without yeast. On the seventh day, there will be a feast to honor the Lord. So for 7 days, you must not eat any bread made with yeast. There must be no bread made with yeast anywhere in your land. On that day, you should tell your son, we are having this feast because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. This feast will help you remember. It will be like a mark on your hand. It will be like a reminder on your forehead. This feast will remind you to speak the Lord's teachings. This is because the Lord used his great power to bring you out of Egypt. So celebrate this feast every year at the right time. The Lord will take you into the land of the Canaanites. He promised to give this land to you and your ancestors. Then you must give him every firstborn male, and every firstborn male animal must be given to the Lord. Buy back every firstborn donkey by offering a lamb. If you don't want to buy the donkey back, then break its neck. You must buy back from the Lord every firstborn of your sons. From now on, your son will ask you, what does this mean? You will answer, with his great power, the Lord brought us out of Egypt. We were slaves in that land. In Egypt, the king was stubborn. He refused to let us leave. But the Lord killed every firstborn male in Egypt, both human and animal. That is why I sacrifice every firstborn male animal to the Lord. And that is why I buy back each of my firstborn sons from the Lord. This feast is like a mark on your hand. And it is like a reminder on your forehead. It will help you remember that the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his great power. The way out of Egypt. The king sent the people out of Egypt. God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country. That road is the shortest way, but God said they might think they will have to fight. Then they might change their minds and go back to Egypt. So God led them through the desert toward the Red Sea. The Israelites were dressed for fighting when they left the land of Egypt. Moses carried the bones of Joseph with him. Before Joseph died, he had made the sons of Israel promise to do this. He had said, when God saves you, remember to carry my bones with you out of Egypt. The people of Israel left Succoth and camped at Etham. Etham was on the edge of the desert. The Lord showed them the way. During the day, he went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud. And during the night, the Lord was in a pillar of fire to give them light. They could travel during the day or night. The pillar of the cloud was always with them during the night, and the pillar of fire was always with them at night. Exodus 14. So 11, 12, 13, 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites to turn back to Pi Hahiroth. Then tell them to camp for the night between Migdal and the Red Sea. This is near Baal Zephon. The king will think the Israelites are lost, trapped by the desert. I will make the king stubborn again, so he will chase after them. But I will defeat the king and his army. This will bring honor to me. Then the people of Egypt will know that I am the Lord. The people of Israel did just as they were told. The king chases the Israelites. The king of Egypt was told that the people of Israel had already left. Then he and his officers changed their minds about them. They said, what have we done? We have let the people of Israel leave. We have lost our slaves. So the king prepared his war chariot and took his army with him. He took 600 of his best chariots. He also took all the other chariots of Egypt. Each chariot had an officer in it. The Lord made the king of Egypt stubborn, so he chased the Israelites who were leaving victoriously. The king of Egypt came with his horses, chariot drivers, and army, and they chased the Israelites. They caught up with the Israelites while they were camped by the Red Sea. This was near Pi Hahiroth and Baal Zephon. The Israelites saw the king and his army coming after them. They were very frightened and cried to the Lord for help. They said to Moses, "What have you done to us? Why did you bring us out of Egypt to die in the desert? There were plenty of graves for us in Egypt. We told you in Egypt, 'Let us alone. Let us stay and serve the Egyptians. Now we will die in the desert.'" But Moses answered, "Don't be afraid. Stand still and see the Lord save you today. You will never see these Egyptians again after today. You will only need to remain calm. The Lord will fight for you." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Command these people of Israel to start moving. Raise your walking stick and hold it over the sea. The sea will split. Then the people can cross the sea on dry land. I have made the Egyptians stubborn, so they will chase the Israelites. But I will be honored when I defeat the king and all of his chariot drivers and chariots. I will defeat the king, his chariot drivers and chariots. Then Egypt will know that I am the Lord." The angel of God usually traveled in front of the Israel's army. Now the angel of God moved behind them. Also, the pillar of cloud moved from in front of the people and stood behind them. So the cloud came between the Egyptians and the people of Israel. The cloud made it dark for the Egyptians, but it gave light to the Israelites. So the cloud kept the two armies apart all night. Moses held his hand over the sea. All that night, the Lord drove back the sea with a strong east wind. And so he made the sea become dry ground. The water was split, and the Israelites went through the sea on dry land. A wall of water was on both sides. Then all the king's horses, chariots, and chariot drivers followed them into the sea. Between 2 and 6 o'clock in the morning, the Lord looked down from the pillar of cloud and fire at the Egyptian army. He made them panic. He kept the wheels of the chariots from turning. This made it hard to drive the chariots. The Egyptians shouted, "Let's get away from the Israelites. The Lord is fighting for them and against the Egyptians." Then the Lord told Moses, "Hold your hand over the sea. Then the water will come back over the Egyptians, their chariots, and chariot drivers." So Moses raised his hand over the sea, and at dawn, the water became deep again. The Egyptians were trying to run from it, but the Lord swept them away into the sea. The water became deep again. It covered the chariots and chariot drivers. So all the king's army that had followed the Israelites into the sea was covered. Not one of them survived. But the people of Israel crossed the sea on dry land. There was a wall of water on their right and on their left, so that the Lord saved the Israelites from the Egyptians. And the Israelites saw the Egyptians lying dead on the seashore. When the people of Israel saw the great power that the Lord had used against the Egyptians, they feared the Lord, and they trusted the Lord and his servant Moses. Praise God. Excuse me. 15th chapter of Exodus, and that'll make my 5 chapters: Exodus 11, 12, 13, 14. Exodus 15, the Song of Moses. Then Moses and the Israelites sang this song to the Lord. I will sing to the Lord because he is worthy of great honor. He has thrown the horse and its rider into the sea. The Lord gives me strength and makes me sing. He has saved me. He is my God, and I will praise him. He is the God of my ancestors, and I will honor him. The Lord is a great warrior. The Lord is his name. The chariots and soldiers of the king of Egypt he has thrown into the sea. The king's best officers are drowned in the Red Sea. The deep waters covered them. They sank to the bottom like a rock. Your hand, your right hand, Lord, is amazingly strong. Lord, your right hand broke the enemy into pieces. In your great victory, you destroyed those who were against you. Your anger destroyed them like fire burning straw. Just a blast of your breath, and the waters were blown back. The moving waters stood up like a wall, and the deep waters became solid in the middle of the sea. The enemy bragged, I'll chase them and catch them. I'll take their riches. I'll take all their riches. I'll take all I want. I'll pull out my sword and my hand will destroy them. But you blew on them with your breath and you covered them with the sea. They sank like lead in the powerful water. Are there any gods like you, Lord? No, there are no gods like you. You are wonderfully holy. You are amazingly powerful. You do great miracles. You reached out with your right hand and the earth swallowed our enemies. You keep your loving promise. You lead the people you have saved. With your strength, you will guide them to your holy land. The other nations will hear this and tremble with fear. Terror will take hold of the Philistines. The leaders of the tribes of Edom will be very frightened. The powerful men of Moab will shake with fear. The people of Canaan will lose all their courage. Those people will be filled with fear. When they see your strength, they will be as still as a rock. They will be still until your people pass by. Lord, they will be still until the people you have brought from slavery pass by. You will lead your people and place them on your very own mountain. Lord, that is the place that you made for yourself to live. Lord, that is the temple that your hands have made. The Lord will rule forever. The horses, chariot drivers, and chariots of the king of Egypt went into the sea, and the Lord covered them with the water from the sea. But the Israelites walked through the sea on dry land. I said that, and then Aaron's sister, Miriam, who was a prophetess, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women followed her, playing the tambourines and dancing. Miriam told them, sing to the Lord, because he is worthy of great honor. He has thrown the horse and its rider into the sea, the bitter water. Moses led the people of Israel away from the Red Sea. The people went into the desert of Shur. They traveled for 3 days in the desert, but found no water. Then they came to Marah. There was water, but they could not drink it because it was too bitter. That is why the place was named Marah. The people grumbled to Moses. They asked, what will we drink? Moses cried out to the Lord, so the Lord showed him a tree. Moses threw the tree into the water, and the water became good to drink. There the Lord gave the people a rule and a law to live by. There he also tested their loyalty to him. He said, you must obey the Lord your God. You must do what the Lord said is right. You must obey all his laws and keep his rules. If you do these things, I will not give you any of the sicknesses I gave the Egyptians. I am the Lord. I am the Lord who heals you. Then the people who traveled, then the people traveled to Elim. At Elim, there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. So the people camped there near the water. Praise God for the reading of the 5 chapters. So, guys, racism is real, and I'm trapped in Oklahoma. But when I came on the internet, and I'm kind of sorry. I want to apologize for calling anybody ugly. Okay. The dog is in me because I'm dealing with dogs. I'm going to glow up when I get back to where I come from. Because where I am right now, I'm not going to do it on the live here. In fact, I'm staying on the live to show you the power of one man. One man in Italy did what 10,000 people can do in the USA. And not just the United States, but different territories come through, Guam and everybody. So let me show you the man. Love me some men. Yes, God. Is he it? So I'm using the geocaching vlogger. I don't know how to pronounce it, but human-powered amusement park built by one man. IPOP. And if you look at the spelling, it's AIPOP. Oh, yeah. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to play it, but keep the sound down. So the sound is down. You see the rides that they're doing. Then you get 10 locations, and you're outside. And if you read my book, we're adding to this. So the food trucks, whoever want to pull up and be a food truck, we got to park with the food. Whatever we build, we can do inflatables. And the strength of this project is that I'm asking is that we all just stay honest and upright and above board. And if you can't give God his praise, at least give him his respect by not being disrespectful. In other words, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, you can shut up because you can still join because this is still biblically available to people. This project is of free will. So you might say, I ain't into this godly thing. I don't know what she's talking about, but I could see being a shareholder. I could see, having a park in my community, something to have a tourist destination, something to have a point of contact or pride. You can drop off kids if you're in a custody or a family dispute. It just become more human. These AIs and these programs are great, but don't let them consume you. Put you in the house and constantly online. The most demonic commercial on this internet today is find 5 people to get in a car wreck, and they don't even have the IQ to say maybe a family was in a wreck and a lawyer can help. They're saying, hey, I got paid. I got a wreck 2 years ago, forgot all about it. So then I told my cousin and his aunt and then her brother, and they just sound like a whole scam. It is Satan saying, y'all go get in a car crash if you want some money. And I'm on the internet saying, guys, here's a way this park is going to lose our weight if we want to lose weight. I mean, like I said, a part of my dog face is because of my diet. What have I been doing? I've been stressing. I've been eating hella sugar and drinking coffee. So, of course, all the dark circles I'm going to get. And then I don't sleep. And I'll tell you why. I'm in the midst of a dumbass murder mystery. And I realized how dumb it had gotten this week when I realized where I was. I'm in MAGA land. I'm in Trump country. I'm in low IQ land. I left Maryland, the top 15 public school system ranking, to come to Oklahoma, the bottom 15 public school system. The teachers, here I go talking about people again. Look, my top weight, I'm 5'1". I've been 250 pounds. And I've loved the Lord at 250 pounds, and I love me at 250 pounds. But it's my choice, my will to say what I want to look like and be. I wasn't even mad at the 250. Actually, I was mad at 250. I wasn't that mad at 200 till I got on a plane in 98. And a white man just could not sit next to me. At 200 pounds, I was too much for his ass. I was too much. And I needed to buy 2 seats at 200 pounds. At 5'1". Basically, attack on fat bitches. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the park. It's the whole reason that I came on the internet. But then I got mixed in with a ugly that I didn't know was ugly. And I'm going to correct myself because I knew it was ugly. When I first came on Jay Wilson, it took me 4 times to get on that band's show because of my technical difficulty, goofball skills. They're for real. As you can, they're for real. I'm going to solve them as best I can. I told that man. And what's crazy is Jay Wilson used to come up when I was in Baltimore. This nigga must have been on in 2014, but that's neither here nor there right now. All I know is I came on his show. I said, something about your platform. It reaches people. Because I'm slow. I didn't. Anyway. The only reason I'm still talking about Jay Wilson is because I'm tired with these prayer cloths. I'm not, you're not going to take $60 from me. Agree to a prayer. And then diminish and insult. And then you got me blocked and he'll never mention my name. He will never mention my name because my name scares him. Dude, don't be scared. Message to Jay Wilson. I came on your show and I said, because Rebel Sun was there and that beautiful Jess lady that's not around no more. I don't see it, but I do see it, but definitely not around your way. When you sing and you sing praises to the Lord, boy, I am drawn to you. When you get to picking on people, because at the time, I thought you were picking on a 20-year-old lady. That goes to show how slow I am. I thought the lady named Tracy, that he was doing all that stuff to, I was disgusted by him. But I had zero knowledge of her age. I really thought that lady, kudos. I thought she was in her 20s. And not because of her looks, because I never really saw her looks. All I knew was he kept talking about some lady, where she lived, a swimming pool, a reflecting pool. And that was what made me click off. And I seen a little bit, and I just figured this was a younger one. I didn't get to know all the grease. But here's what I thought. Now, Miss Vivian, I thought she was a beautiful lady. Why not? This woman go to church every Sunday, put a church on there, come on, and here's where I'm guilty. That 30 years, I'm what was it? A concubine 30-year thing. See, I didn't judge Miss Vivian. That's between her and God, because I know of situations. Now there are cheats. Cheats are cheats, and then there are people where there's an understanding, and then there are people. This happens a lot. This happens very frequent. It just happened to a very. Oh my gosh! I know. I think it's Be Nice, B Simone. I know the lady. And you bring a caretaker in to help care for your spouse because your spouse cannot do for themselves. And then in the mixture of it all, maybe the caretaker and the spouse now have bonded. But I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm just saying that was my way of excusing the debauchery that Miss Vivian was talking about. And no, she's not ugly to me because of the outside of her appearance, which now she is the outside now, but she's ugly to me because of what's inside. And I'm ugly to me on the outside because of the people I'm dealing with. But on the inside, Esther Marie is the most beautiful, gorgeous woman that God has created. I know this now because of the internet. I've seen painted, beautiful, sculpted women just giving themselves over to Satan. They're wasted. They're either taken over willfully or they're all acting like Paula White and those people who use God. And I do too. We all use God. But if we read our Bible, we know that if we rightly use God, we can rightly use God. There's a dream I want to see accomplished. I'm going to use God. There's a sickness I need to heal. Can I rightly use God? But all this, put $1,000 right now, right here to me, is not rightly using God. Bless me so I can pray and bless you, and then you'll get yours. That you cannot be falling for that in 2026. We fell for it in the 70s because we saw the buildup and we saw the growth. It's time to stop being stupid. Because let me tell you the problem that I'm in. I am fighting white supremacy, child trafficking, possibly pedophiles, and murderers. So back to Miss Vivian. I bought them prayer cloths and I asked for prayer. She didn't do. Then I made a video and then we went back and forth. In the back and forth, I said, just thank your mama for entertainment purposes. Just thank your mama. And it was true. Not that her mom was thinking. I said, I prayed for your mother. Now, what I didn't do, because I'm a woman of Almighty God, and when I go to meet my maker, what I didn't do was wish death on anyone in her family. But she wished death on mine. And these white supremacists killed. No, because to them they didn't kill. They're innocent. They so sweet and clean. They and that lady with the beard influenced a 17-year-old pregnant girl to commit matricide. Ecclesiastes, there is a time for everything. It's not that I would never wish death on anyone. There's a time and a reason why you would wish death on somebody. These white supremacists know that they are trafficking my children, my grandchildren. And they took custody from my son in 2020 and would never tell me why. When I'm a grandmother, you tell me what agency you would not knock down to get that answer, because I did that. I never got an answer. I got my answer. Today's Saturday. I got my answer Monday. These racists are low IQ as fuck, and they're dangerous, and they have given me all the reason to get full custody and get back to Maryland, where I come from. So, Book of Ecclesiastes, I'm not wishing death on anybody. Wait, I'm not wishing death on anyone regarding as concerned with Miss Vivian. Prayer cloth swindling does not equal death sentence. That would never come out of my mouth. It equals what comes out of my mouth. Now, where this judge, CPS, and these white supremacist lawyers go, because I got to say it, because I said I wasn't going to say it because it's too many. Now I cannot. No, these people are trafficking kids, and they're using their white supremacy to do it. So I'm dealing with witches. But they're low IQ, Megaland witches. They took my son's parental capabilities before the children were born. As the report reads, I just read it this week. On December 23rd, 2019, a family member from Miss Octavia came to an adult family member from Miss Octavia family came to the home and got into an argument with her 13-year-old daughter. At some point, the argument turned into a fight and police were called. When police came, Octavia was like 6-7 months pregnant, and her cousin, her family member, now her family member is not a family member. Her family member is a transient, and she calls these transients family members. So you got these three. They all from the same family, and they're in the house, and the police get called on them. So when they get there, and my son is in Octavia's room playing PlayStation, they say, since you didn't call the police and didn't get involved, you don't get to have your kids. You're canceled as a father. You're not getting these kids. The fix is in. And then the pattern going forward shows it all. When they got the kids out of foster care, well, let me say this first, because here's where we get to really cussing people out, because I'm not on a death wish. Not yet. You can get me there if you're going to take my kid. To me, a death wish has got to be an immediate, intense, like you're trying to take my child from me physically right now in my hand. I can't pray to God this doesn't happen. I've got to take your head off all the way and get my child. But as this illegal court systems go, and I don't mind talking, because it's God's people out here, and it's Satan's people out here. And I understand that Satan's people, not all of them, know that they've given themselves. They don't. A lot of people are given over, taken over. But this year is the year I have witnessed people who willful defend Satan. Don't blame the devil. Don't talk about the devil. No, the devil's quite pleased. This is where I'm rambling, but I really make sense, because if we had the parks, we could have more community. And sitting in these boxes and getting this kind of snapshot glimpse of one another is so a big portal for Satan to bring his bullshit through. I'm for real. And the money is real. And Donald Trump has lost his mind. I don't know where the cool left him. Something must have happened when Barack Obama became president. That must have really bothered him, because clearly he's a Klan back from his father's time. But I think he got over it with the Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Don King era. He had an Al Sharpton. He was having fun. And then Obama just offended the fuck out of him, because he thought maybe you niggas need to stay in y'all place. But anyway, Oklahoma is a very, very different kind of state. I know all about South Carolina, North Carolina, and all that. These are the type, and I apologize to the good people of Oklahoma, but there's something going on in Oklahoma for real. For real. There's a demonic force going on in Oklahoma for real. Again, patterns. This number one Trump country, not no county, said no to that man. But when I was in college at 40 some years old in the dorm, I had this racist, fat little white girl, and they moved her in my room. And anyway, crazy. She was so racist. Her mom had a black boyfriend, and she would use him to do things in front of me. And one day, I don't know, he caught on because I never got involved with people like that. And he said, "Don't you ever call me for anything again because she's so terrible." But anyway, she was telling me about this show called Supernatural. I had never heard of this show, and she wanted me so badly to see this show because she had the whole DVD set and everything. So she gave it to me, and I watched it, and I saw what I saw, and I know what I know, and I shut it down. And I said, I gotta get this out of my room. I gotta get this out of my dorm. I can't have this. I get your show. No, thank you. Well, Supernatural is where I am in Oklahoma. These people are willful for the devil. Imagine giving somebody $30,000 saying you want custody, full custody, and you want to leave the state because they already threatened and killed the baby mother. And they tell you, well, instead of full custody, how about you get visitation in the city where they killed your granddaughter's baby mama? That's what the lawyer that I paid said. Now, I don't know what the IQ on that one is, but I know that with this one, I got invoices and files, and I saw the information. And the information, when I read it, all these letters to the governor, this judge got me in order as not existing. I don't exist. I'm erased. But thank God for YouTube. Thank God for God. And thank God for his people. And I've been calling. This is my second lawyer. Oh, yeah, I fired her. Well, I didn't fire her. I ended the case. Because let me tell you about these Oklahoma women. They are the descendants of the Tulsa teardown. They are jealous. They think they're kind, or that's their whole thing, is they want to be sweet and you know what I mean, like a ghoul. They are intentional ghouls. They know what they're doing. I asked the woman that I paid $30,000 to, why didn't the lawyer for the children, who's obviously your friend, why didn't she speak up for the children? My God, my grandchildren are in a crowded house of a woman who is raised by foster checks. So her family just does transient people. Transient people get their information and kick them out, boot them. And you know what? I'm going to get back to my Bible. I'm sorry, because my Bible is going to lift me up. All this stuff that I'm doing now is what I do in the prayer closet. Let's go. 5 more chapters. Exodus 16, one Bible in the year. The ICB version. Exodus 16, the people demand food. Then the whole Israelite community left Elim. They came to the desert of Sin. This place was between Elim and Sinai. They came to this place on the 15th day of the second month after they had left Egypt. Then the whole Israelite community grumbled to Moses and Aaron in the desert. The Israelites said to them, "It would have been better if the Lord had killed us in the land of Egypt. There we had meat to eat. We had all the food we wanted. But you have brought us into this desert. You will starve us to death here." Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will cause food to fall like rain from the sky. This food will be for all of you. Every day, the people must go out and gather what they need for that day. I will do this to see if the people will do what I teach them. On the sixth day of each week, they are to gather twice as much as they gather on other days. Then they are to prepare it." So Moses and Aaron said to all the Israelites, "This evening you will know that the Lord is the one who brought you out of Egypt. Tomorrow morning you will see the greatness of the Lord. He has heard you grumble against him. We are nothing. You are not grumbling against us, but against the Lord." And Moses said, "Each evening the Lord will give you meat to eat, and every morning he will give you all the bread you want. He will do this because he has heard your grumble against him. You are not grumbling against Aaron and me. You are grumbling against the Lord." Then Moses said to Aaron, "Speak to the whole community of the Israelites. Say to them, 'Meet together in front of the Lord, because he has heard your grumblings.'" So Aaron spoke to the whole community of the Israelites. While he was speaking, they looked toward the desert. There the greatness of the Lord appeared in a cloud. The Lord said to Moses, "I have heard the grumblings of the people of Israel. So tell them, at twilight you will eat meat, and every morning you will eat all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God." That evening quail came and covered the camp, and in the morning dew lay around the camp. When the dew was gone, thin flakes like frost were on the desert ground. When the Israelites saw it, they asked each other, "What is that?" They asked this question because they did not know what it was. So Moses told them, "This is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. The Lord has commanded each one of you must gather what he needs. Gather about 2 quarts for every person in your family." So the people of Israel did this. Some people gathered much and some gathered little. Then they measured it. The person who gathered more did not have too much. The person who gathered less did not have too little. Each person gathered just as much as he needed. Moses said to them, "Don't keep any of it to eat the next day." But some of the people did not listen to Moses. They kept part of it to eat the next morning. But it became full of worms and began to stink. So Moses was angry with these people. Every morning, each person gathered as food. Every morning, each person gathered as much food as he needed. But when the sun became hot, it melted away. On the 6th day, the people gathered twice as much food. They gathered 4 quarts for every person. So all the leaders of the community came and told this to Moses. Moses said to them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow is the Sabbath, the Lord's holy day of rest. Bake what you want to bake and boil what you want to boil today, but save the rest of the food until tomorrow morning." So the people saved it until the next morning, as Moses had commanded, and none of it began to stink or have worms in it. Moses told the people, "Eat the food you gathered yesterday. Today is a Sabbath, the Lord's day of rest. So you will not find any out in the field today. You should gather the food for 6 days. But the 7th day is a Sabbath day. On that day, there will not be any food on the ground. On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather food, but they couldn't find any. Then the Lord said to Moses, "How long will all you people refuse to obey my commands and teachings? Look, the Lord has made the Sabbath a day of rest for all of you. So on the sixth day, he will give you enough food for 2 days. But on the Sabbath, each of you must stay where you are. Do not leave your house. So the people rested on the Sabbath. The people of Israel called the food manna. The manna was like small white seeds. It tasted like wafers made with honey. Then Moses said, the Lord says, save 2 quarts of this food for your descendants. Then they can see the food that I gave you to eat. I did this in the desert when I brought you out of Egypt. Moses told Aaron, take a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna, and save this manna for your descendants. So Aaron did what the Lord had commanded Moses. Aaron put the jar of manna in front of the Ark of the Covenant. He did this so it could be kept. The Israelites ate manna for 40 years. They ate it until they came to the land where they settled. They ate manna until they came to the edge of the land of Canaan. The measure they used for the manna was 2 quarts. It was 1/10 of an ephah. Exodus chapter 17, water from a rock. The whole Israelite community left the desert of sin. They traveled from place to place as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water there for the people to drink. So they quarreled with Moses. They said, give us water to drink. But Moses said to them, why do you quarrel with me? Why are you testing the Lord? But the people were very thirsty for water. So they grumbled against Moses. They said, why did you bring us out of Egypt? Was it to kill us, our children, and our farm animals with thirst? So Moses cried to the Lord, what can I do with these people? They are almost ready to kill me with stones. The Lord said to Moses, go ahead of the people of Israel and take some of the elders of Israel with you. Carry with you the walking stick that you used to strike the Nile River. Now go. I will stand in front of you on a rock at Mount Sinai. Hit that rock with the stick and water will come out of it. Then the people can drink. Moses did these things as the elders of Israel watched. Moses named that place Massah because the Israelites tested the Lord. They asked, is the Lord with us or not? He also named it Meribah because they quarreled. The Amalekites fight Israel. At Rephidim, the Amalekites came out and fought the Israelites. So Moses said to Joshua, choose some men and go and fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill. I will hold the stick God gave me to carry. Joshua obeyed Moses and went to fight the Amalekites. At the same time, Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held his hands up, the Israelites would win the fight. But when Moses put his hands down, the Amalekites would win. Later, Moses' arms became tired, so the men put a large rock under Moses, and he sat on it. Then Aaron and Hur held up Moses' hands. Aaron was on one side of Moses, and Hur was on the other side. They held his hands up like this until the sun went down. So Joshua defeated the Amalekites in this battle. Then the Lord said to Moses, write about this battle in a book so people will remember, and be sure to tell Joshua. Tell him because I will completely destroy the Amalekites from the earth. Then Moses built an altar. He named it the Lord my banner. Moses said, there's no hot water. There's no need for using my bathroom. There's no hot water. You can go and try your bathroom. please. Go, and when the hot water comes on, I'm waiting for my bath. Please come out of my bathroom, please. Thank you. But do try the hot water. Thank you. Then Moses built an altar. He named it, "The Lord is my banner." Moses said, "I lifted my hands toward the Lord's throne. The Lord will fight against the Amalekites forever." Exodus 18. Jethro visits Moses. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, was the priest of Midian. He heard about everything that God had done for Moses and his people, the Israelites. Jethro heard how the Lord had led the Israelites out of Egypt. Moses had sent his wife Zipporah to Jethro, his father-in-law. Moses had also sent his two sons. The first son was named Gershom. When he was born, Moses said, "I am a stranger in a foreign country." The other son was named Eliezer. When he was born, Moses said, "The God of my father is my help. He saved me from the king of Egypt." So Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, went to Moses. Moses was camped in the desert near Sinai, the mountain of God. Moses' wife and his two sons came with Jethro. Jethro had sent a message ahead to Moses. Thank you. Sorry. He said, "I am Jethro, your father-in-law. I am coming to you with your wife and her two sons." So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. Moses bowed down and then kissed him. The two men asked about each other's health. Then they went into Moses' tent. Moses told his father-in-law everything the Lord had done to the king and the Egyptians. The Lord had done these things to help Israel. Moses told about all the problems they had faced along the way, and Moses told him how the Lord had saved them. Jethro was very happy when he heard all the good things the Lord had done for Israel. He was happy because the Lord had saved them from the Egyptians. Jethro said, "Praise the Lord. He has saved all of you from the Egyptians and their king. He has saved the people from the power of the Egyptians. Now I know the Lord is greater than all gods. He did this to those who look down on Israel." Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, gave a whole burnt offering and other sacrifices to God. Aaron and all the elders of Israel came to Moses' father-in-law. They ate the holy meal together before God. The next day, Moses solved disagreements among the people. So the people stood around Moses from morning until night. Moses' father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people. He asked, "What is all this you are doing for the people? Why are you the only one to solve disagreements? All the people are standing around you from morning until night." Then Moses said to his father-in-law, "It is because the people come to me for God's help in solving their disagreements. When people have a disagreement, they come to me. I decide who is right, and I tell them God's laws and teachings." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "You are not doing this right. You and the people who come to you will get too tired. This is too much work for you. You can't do it by yourself. Now listen to me. I will give you some advice. I want God to be with you. You must talk to God for your people. You must tell him about their disagreements. You should tell them the laws and teachings. Tell them the right way to live and what they should do. But choose some capable men from among the people. Choose men who respect God and who can be trusted. They will not change their decisions for money. Make these men officers over groups of 1,000, 100, 50, and 10 people. Let these officers solve the disagreements among the people all the time. They can bring the hard cases to you, but they can decide the simple cases themselves. That will make it easier for you. These men will share the work with you. Do this if it is what God commands. Then you will be able to do your job, and all the people will go home with their disagreement solved. So Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. He chose capable men from all the Israelites. He made them leaders over the people. They were officers over groups of 1,150 and 10 people. These officers solved disagreements among the people all the time. They brought the hard cases to Moses, but they decided the simple cases themselves. Then Moses left his father-in-law. Then Moses let his father-in-law leave, and Jethro went back to his own home. Exodus 19. Israel at Sinai. Exactly 3 months after the Israelites had left Egypt, they reached the desert of Sinai. They had left Rephidim and had come to the desert of Sinai. The Israelites camped in the desert in front of Mount Sinai. Then Moses went up on the mountain to God. The Lord called to him from the mountain. The Lord said, "Say this to the family of Jacob, and tell this to the people of Israel. Every one of you has seen what I did to the people of Egypt. You saw how I carried you out of Egypt. I did it as an eagle carries her young on her wings, and I brought you here to me. So now obey me and keep my agreement. Do this, and you will be my own possession, chosen from all nations. Even though the whole earth is mine, you will be my kingdom of priests. You will be a nation that belongs to me alone. You must tell the Israelites these words." So Moses went down and called the elders of the people together. He told them all the words the Lord had commanded him to say. And all the people answered together, "We will do everything he has said." Then Moses took their answer back to the Lord. And the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud. I will speak to you. The people will hear me talking to you. I will do this so the people will always trust you." Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. The Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and have them spend today and tomorrow preparing themselves. They must wash their clothes and be ready by the day after tomorrow. On that day, I, the Lord, will come down on Mount Sinai, and all the people will see me, but you must set a limit around the mountain. The people are not to cross it. Tell the people not to go up on the mountain. Tell them not to touch the foot of it. Anyone who touches the mountain must be put to death. He must be put to death with stones or shot with arrows. No one is allowed to touch him. Whether it is a person or animal, he will not live. But the trumpet will make a long blast. Only then may the people go up on the mountain." So Moses went down from the mountain to the people. He made them prepare themselves for service to God, and the people washed their clothes. Then Moses said to the people, "Be ready in 3 days. Do not have physical relations during this time." It was the morning of the third day. There was thunder and lightning with a thick cloud on the mountain, and there was a very loud blast from a trumpet, and all the people in the camp were frightened. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God. They stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke. This happened because the Lord came down on it in fire. The smoke rose from the mountain like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain shook wildly. The sound from the trumpet became louder. Then Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. So the Lord came down on the top of Mount Sinai. Then he called Moses to come up. to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up. The Lord said to Moses, "Go down and warn the people. They must not force their way through to see me. If they do, many of them will die. Even the priests who may come near me must first prepare themselves. If they don't, I, the Lord, will punish them." Moses told the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai." Moses told the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai. You yourself told us to set a limit around the mountain. We made it holy." The Lord said to him, "Go down and bring Aaron with you, but don't allow the priests or the people to force their way through. They must not come up to the Lord. If they do, I will punish them." So Moses went down to the people and told them these things. Exodus 20. So that's 16, 17, 18, 19. What? 20? So this is another 5. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The 10 Commandments. Exodus 20. Then God spoke all these words. "I am the Lord your God. I brought you out of the land of Egypt where you were slaves. You must not have any other gods except me. You must not make for yourselves any idols. Don't make something that looks like anything in the sky above, or on the earth below, or in the water below the land. You must not worship or serve any idol. This is because I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. A person may sin against me and hate me. I will punish his children, even his grandchildren and great grandchildren. But I will be very kind to thousands who love me and obey my commands. You must not use the name of the Lord your God thoughtlessly. The Lord will punish anyone who is guilty and misuses his name. Remember to keep the Sabbath as a holy day. You may work and get everything done during 6 days each week, but the seventh day is a day of rest to honor the Lord your God. On that day, no one may do any work, not you, your son, nor daughter, or your men or women slaves. Neither your animals nor the foreigners living in your cities may work. The reason is that in 6 days the Lord made everything. He made the sky, earth, sea, and everything in them. And on the seventh day he rested. So the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, then you will live a long time in the land the Lord your God is going to give you this land. You must not murder anyone. You must not be guilty of adultery. You must not steal. You must not tell lies about your neighbor in court. You must not want to take your neighbor's house. You must not want his wife or his men or women slaves. You must not want his ox or his donkey. You must not want to take anything that belongs to your neighbor. The people heard the thunder and the trumpet. They saw the lightning on the mountain and smoke rising from the mountain. They shook with fear and stood afar from the mountain. Then they said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself, then we'll listen. But don't let God speak to us, or we will die." Then Moses said to the people, "Don't be afraid. God has come to test you. He wants you to respect him so you will not sin." The people stood far away from the mountain while Moses went near the dark cloud where God was. Then the Lord told Moses to say these things to the Israelites. "You yourselves have seen that I talked with you from heaven. You must not use gold or silver to make idols for yourselves. You must not worship these false gods in addition to me. Make an altar of dirt for me. Offer your whole burnt offerings and fellowship offerings on this altar as a sacrifice to me. Use your sheep and your cattle to do this. Worship me in every place that I choose. Then I will bless. I will come and bless you. You may use stones to make an altar for me, but don't use stones that you have made smooth with tools. You must not use any tools on the stones. If you do, you make them unsuitable for use in worship. And you must not make steps leading up to my altar. If you go up steps, people will be able to see under your clothes. That was 5 more chapters. Do you see how God put that in there? And I just told y'all this story about this woman. So December 23rd, 2019. A family member from Octavia's home came to speak with her 13-year-old daughter, Janessa. The two got into a fight. Police were called. When they came and saw the 3 women were all of the same family and Octavia was pregnant, they said to my son, CPS said to my son, since you didn't call police, we're taking your babies. Babies were not born. Babies were born premature. Babies were not due to be born until the end of February, beginning of March 2020. However, the lady that I'm fighting in court, Monica Pratt, because I'm off of that thing. I can do my thing again for another year. But really, I really got to get out of here because this Monica Pratt, CPS, Judge Lisa Shaw, and all these Oklahoma women are in cahoots. So back to Monica Pratt, the lady that's taking my babies. She's hardly ever with Octavia. She's with Octavia when she wants to be with Octavia. Octavia's lived with me twice. Octavia calls on the phone, wants to hook up. It's always Monica. So Monica goes around Octavia around the end of December. And Monica gets Octavia to take a medication, which Octavia did not drink, did not smoke, didn't like loud music, didn't like lights before she got pregnant. And she used to live in my house. She lived in my house 2018. She lived in my house twice. I used to call her Slet Rock. And I stopped calling her Slet Rock because I didn't want to disrespect her because then she was my baby mama. But when she was my son's girlfriend, I was calling her Slet Rock. So that was her personality. Sit, be sad. And the one thing that always made her glow up is cooking. She just loved to cook. So anyway, Monica convinces her to take some wild pill. And the way I know this is because that was also part of them. This Monica is a manipulator. She grew up with foster kids. So everybody's a check to her. And Octavia is her cousin. Octavia lost her mother at 9 years old. So as teenagers, Octavia was getting that check. And Monica was looking at her like she was getting money. And I get, so the two of them, and my son told me this in 2018. My son said, Octavia and Monica trying to get me pregnant. Basically, they trying to get Octavia to have a baby because Monica just had 2 babies with her second husband or third husband, whatever she got. And he said, they trying to get me to get Octavia pregnant so they can put the babies in foster care so they can get money. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds stupid. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, well, if they go to foster care, they coming to me. I'm the grandmother. So, okay. Because I'm thinking I'm going to go to DHS anyway. There's no place that I've ever been with my son and I've not gone to an agency for help. So why would I not go to an agency for help with my son's children? The fix was in. So what it was Monica had a particular foster person in mind, and she had somebody at the agency to set it up to go to that particular person. So, but Monica ended up telling me how much she hated her cousin, and that was the day that I figured it out. But I figured out in August that Janessa committed matricide because I saw her around town. I heard what she was posting on her Facebook page. I heard what she did with her mom's Facebook page, and the girl just looked like she was on a victory march. She couldn't be stopped. Everything was fun. Everything was and she's sick like that, and I know her like that. I've had her in my house twice. She has lived in my home twice, and I've even offered to bring her into the foster care situation with my twins when I was thinking that they were going to be in my house. Because I'm thinking, well, my twins are set. They got a grandma that owns a house, is a landlord. I don't got a police record, and I live alone. I got time. They can come over here. That woman, that white supremacist, racist descendant of the Tulsa tear down spirit, was jealous and mad and said, hell no. She hung up the phone. So then I called and I speak to her boss. And I didn't know her boss was pregnant at the time. But her boss was pregnant at the time. And she said, yeah, if everything works out, yeah, you can pick him up tomorrow. It's just a matter of a background check. There's not a background check that I can't pass. Unless I stay in Oklahoma, and they'll have me locked up. So at least I get to say all that right now. We did Exodus, and we spent time. And if I feel like it, I may come back. And I told you I ain't had no water. I'm so sad without my bath. But so now I'm funky stinking, man. And I see y'all later. I'll probably come on later. We're gonna read this Bible in a year because I can do it. You can too. Superbowl years old. I said I'm Superbowl years old. Try it again. I said I'm Superbowl years old. How do I end the stream?